When it comes to designing a part for manufacturing, it's hard to nail down the right tolerances. One of the bigger perils is getting stuck with either far too strict tolerances that are too costly to make, or tolerances that are too loose, making your parts not in spec. In this video, we're going to show you the general process for finding the right tolerances for your project, use real examples of how tight tolerances can price you out, and how loose tolerances can break your production. The best way to set tolerances is to start by understanding what the part actually needs to do. This starts with outlining the function of the part and the circumstances around it and its surrounding environment. Next, identify which features are critical to achieving that part's function. Usually, this means evaluating critical specifications and tolerances and testing those against their extremes. It might include things like alignment points, holes, tabs, or edges that interact with other components. Next, look at the overall shape and any features that need to line up, especially in multi-layer parts, because those relationships usually drive where tighter tolerances matter. It's important to evaluate the part holistically so that you can start defining a manufacturing process and put it together. Next, material choice is also huge, since some materials stretch, shrink, or move more during die cutting, which can make tight tolerances harder and more expensive to hold. It's important to evaluate all the materials in your particular part, both individually and as a collective, because you have to evaluate how these materials will behave in the manufacturing process and how they will behave in their final form. If you only evaluate one of these, you will end up with either a very manufacturable part that doesn't work, or a part that works really well that you can't manufacture. Neither situation is a successful one. Finally, define your functional tolerance range, the amount of variation the part can have and still work correctly. A good way to validate this is by testing parts at the high and low ends of that range to see if they still perform. Any tolerance you call out should be necessary, not just nice to have. This approach helps you avoid over-tolerancing while still protecting what matters most. When deciding your tolerances, it's easy to look at your part and say, this circle needs to be 2 inches in diameter. But in reality, it doesn't always need to be exactly 2 inches in diameter. For this part to work in your end application, it may be able to work anywhere from 1.9 inches to 2.1 inches. Now, while that small of a range may not seem like a lot, it can actually save you thousands of dollars in production. For example, if you need to hit exactly 2 inches every time, that would require intense tooling equipment, as well as it would likely need to run at a much slower speed, which increases production costs. While if you allow for a few millimeters of wiggle room, it allows us to speed up the production process, saving you time and money in the end. On the other end of the spectrum, tolerances that are too loose can cause just as many problems. If you allow too much variation, you might end up with parts that are too small to hold properly or too large, resulting in extra material on the end part. You have to draw the line at some point, otherwise you don't really need a die cut part. If your tolerances are this wide, you can just use a roll of tape and cut parts by hand much faster and cheaper. The best tolerances are the ones that let your part function reliably without overcomplicating or significantly increasing the cost of production. That's why we always recommend working with a converter early in the design process. A converter can help you identify what features actually need tight control, test realistic tolerance ranges, and design a part that works in the real world, not just on paper. If you want to learn more about how working with a converter can help, check out our Learning Center or reach out to us directly. Thanks for watching.